Hello, welcome to VNN. Mr. Ron Chatha is the new chair of the Peel Regional Police Board. Mr. Chatha is a long-time community activist, active with the Peel Children's Aid Foundation and Brampton's Committee of Adjustment and School Safety Committee and many others. He was also vice chair of the Peel Regional Police Board before being named chair. Welcome to VNN, Mr. Chatha, and best wishes in your new role.
Thank you so much, Mr. Manon. Pleasure for being here.
I'm just wondering now, have you been active with the Peel Police Board for a long time?
Last year, in the beginning of last year, I got appointed on the Police Service Board. And then somewhere in the middle of the year, I got elected as the vice chair of the board. And earlier this year, roughly around 3 weeks back, I got elected to be the new
unanimous
chair.
decision, isn't it?
Yes, I'm thankful to my board, and we have a wonderful board. And they elected me, and obviously I'm thankful to them, and I'm looking forward to working with.
How did you get this interest in policing, and is it a long time?
I live in Brampton. My office is in Mississauga. I'm always in region of Peel, and back in 2010, I was board of director for Brampton School Safety, Traffic School Safety Council, and I worked very closely with especially the traffic around the school systems, when the kids goes to the school or when they're coming back to their homes, how safer their commute or their path is. And I worked very closely with the police and bylaw officers at that time. And I always wanted to give back to the community, and that's why I chose to be on, and the government appointed me.
So do you think there is good enforcement of these bylaws in the school areas, school districts?
Yes, in that time, so this we're talking about, I was there from 2010 to 2014 term. If you see near the schools, by the time the kids, let's say the school is ending at 2:30, and we see there are crossing guards to mainly the parents and the kids. They help them to crossing the roads and stuff. So that was part of our responsibility.
But still, you find unruly drivers now.
Exactly, and that's why we were working with some people they were not obeying the rules and parking wherever they want. That's why you see sometime wherever the complaints are, or the more complaints are, the bylaw officers, the city bylaw officers,
will be present there.
Yeah, they drive around and they issue the tickets and stuff. So people are more aware. They're not just to issue the ticket, but to let everyone know that this is not the right.
Education also is necessary.
Exactly. So Kiss and Ride program, if you see any school we enter, they have one way to enter in and one way to exit. So that was also part of our board at that time. That's a good practice.
Did you have to do any special design or something for that purposes?
Yes, any new school opening, we were visiting, and time to time, wherever we had the complaints, we used to go. And still, City of Brampton, I'm in touch with some of very credible people in the community. They do participate with this, and time to time, they present. Let's say the school is ending at 2:30, so they are reaching there 2:15 and spending half an hour to monitor everything, how the traffic is, how the flow is it safer, or do they need to recommend somewhere else, any other intersection, any crossing guard.
So you think there is good coordination between the board and the police force as such? Or are there some conflicts sometimes?
No, we are fortunate. We are very good board. We have both the mayors for Brampton, Mr. Patrick Brown, Mayor of Mississauga, Bonnie Crombie, and regional chair. They do sit on the police board as well.
What about Caledon? That's different?
No, Caledon is by OPP.
Oh, I see. It doesn't come under the Peel regional, although it's a part of the Peel region.
Obviously, this is part of Peel region, but
the policing is OPP.
Yeah, policing is done by OPP, and we have Peel Regional Police in Mississauga and Brampton. Late last year, sometime in the middle of last year, we began the process. Our board hired new chief from
He was in the Halton board.
Halton. He was deputy chief in
of the
Halton,
board,
and then October the 1st he took oath. Mr. Nishan Durappa.
Yeah, the right.
He is the new chief for Peel Regional Police. We are fully working with our police force, and at the first hand, we get to know where the issues are, and we try our best to work it out.
Any problems with budgeting and that there is, isn't it?
No, we are in process in the bargaining because after 5 years.
Okay.
It's a big budget for the police. It's a growing region. The approximate population is somewhere close to 1.5 million.
Oh, with the Mississauga and Brampton together.
Exactly. So the budget is approximately 450 million annually.
So funding is not a problem for the Peel Police.
Well, the region is responsible for the funding. We all pay taxes, and the regional council, when the board set the budget, and regional council is responsible for that.
Does the provincial government contribute in any way?
They do contribute on the special projects,
Okay.
same as federal. Recently, we got the grant. You may have saw in the news.
$20 million.
$20.5 million for gangs and guns funding,
Okay.
and they do get time to time for the special projects.
We find that crime is upswing. It's on an upswing here in Brampton and Mississauga too. I mean, especially on the highways. And I mean, what is there any special program to tackle this?
Yes, this funding we were just talking about is mainly for gangs and guns funding. The majority of the guns, the survey says, and all the studies, over 70% approximately guns, they come from other side of the border.
Yeah.
So at the same time, the federal government is also working to protect our borders. How we can work more efficient way. Because these guns are obviously coming from other side of the border. In terms of when we talk about the crime, this is totally GTA-wide issue. It's not just Brampton or Mississauga. Obviously, we get to hear more because we are here. Oftentimes, this question being asked, and we always come to one sentence that the criminals, they don't respect the postal codes.
Yeah,
those postal codes are for us.
Yeah, but reports say, I mean, most of them are, these are spillovers from Toronto area. I mean,
Exactly. So many, like York is having an issue.
Yeah.
Somehow the region appeal is because all major highways are going through our region. At the biggest airport, somewhere we attract 45 to 50 million passengers annually at the Pearson International Airport. So we are geographically located at next to Toronto, where crime is a major issue because somehow our location is there and our population is huge, our region is big. So that is one of the reasons, but we are fully confident that Peel Police is doing a wonderful job.
I think there has been a population shift also. A lot of people are moving from Toronto towards the suburbs like Mississauga and Brampton, and maybe that could be another reason.
Obviously, wherever is more population,
there could be crime.
The challenges are more. Whatever the challenges were 15, 20 years, nowadays is different because of the method of crimes somewhere have changed. More cyber crimes are being, right now the police has to shift their focus into more technology-wise. So how they can be more efficient in today's world. That is one reason. Affordability is one reason. Housing and everything in Toronto is quite expensive. So people obviously go to outskirts, even from Brampton, Mississauga. Sometimes they move out to Halton or somewhere in the north part of north to GTA.
And some percentage of this are would be criminals anyway.
Well, it's hard to
or involved in crime in some way.
It's hard to say any particular location, or if someone is moving from one area to another. But overall, the challenges are growing.
Yes.
It has grown big time. I'm not going to deny that. But we are looking into all these aspects, and our chief, he's quite young and comes from a diverse background.
Yeah.
Not only that he's young, but He's 25 years into policing.
He knows.
And he was deputy in Halton, and our board is lucky to have him as our chief. Beside that, as I mentioned, between Mississauga and Brampton, all major highways, the geographical locations, our police force is third largest municipal police force in the
Canada?
country.
Yeah, okay.
In the country. So obviously, last year, to just combat with all these growing challenges, we got approved 55 new officers. For year 2020, we got 35 new officers, and we are fully confident that any time we are there to tackle any of these challenges. We do have a marine unit set up lately as well.
That,
Many other
different units. Yeah.
Exactly.
And what is the main criminal activity in Brampton? You find Brampton, Mississauga. I mean, is it what guns, gangs, and drugs, homicides? There's been
Recently, what we noticed, we have noticed guns and gangs, and all these activities are interrelated between drugs as well.
Yeah.
And many gangs are involved or operative. As far as shootings are concerned, we lately saw, especially in the late last year, unfortunate incident in Malton and then on Highway 410.
Yeah, right.
So we also are working now in our board. We passed a motion to have the cameras on 410 because over the time, if you look at the study on Highway 407, any of these gang members, they dare to drive because they have the cameras and everything. So
has this 410 camera has been approved?
410, that's what we ask for.
Okay.
But we are working, and hopefully we'll have something in the near future.
Because that is part of the provincial. It's a provincial highway.
Yes, it's Highway 400 series is provincial. So it's very hard to say. We have domestic violence is one of the challenge we have in our region.
Why is that? Because is it community related, or I mean?
Not really. Again, it's very hard to pinpoint any particular community, but that is one of the issue that our police is dealing.
Domestic violence means what? Is this physical violence, or there are murders also?
We have seen lately, if you recall, whether that's late last year or earlier this year, the few incidents happened within many of the communities, including South Asian community.
Yeah.
So whether that's a domestic dispute or stabbing or by any other means, someone got killed. So oftentimes police is dealing with those issues as traffic issues, mental health issues are one of the key as well.
Yeah, that's a new thing, isn't it? I think the Peel Police have already had as a new department to handle this.
Yes, so this model is brought by our new chief, and our board is fully committed to work on it because the growing number of calls for mental health and mental health issue is one of the priority. This board is fully committed to look after all these matters. At the same time, we are there for all our police officers for their well-being as well. As far as mental health, we recently established a mobile rapid crisis unit where a nurse is going to work with a constable or a police officer. So they can assess the situation quickly.
The situation,
Exactly, because right now what the law is, and it's a mandatory that anytime there's any mental health call, they have to have 2 police officers, not only to attend the scene, but to take that patient to the hospital and to be with that patient till the doctor is looking after and monitoring the situation. So that is taken quite a bit of our officers' time.
And because last year, I mean, there was this woman, 84-year-old woman in Mississauga. I mean, she was tasered because she was carrying a scissor.
Yeah.
And I mean, she broke her thing, she fractured her legs, and
Yeah.
there was a lot of incidents like that, isn't it?
So we are working very closely on that, and we are trying our best to how the police can be more efficient, working with the hospital systems. Another issue we have is recently it come across with the traffic, road rages,
Yeah, that's also.
or hit and run, those incidents. What my simple comments on this, you can't run away. Sooner or later, police
They'll
is going
find
to
you. They'll
catch
find you.
and find you. It's better to cooperate with if any unfortunate happened, any incident happened, is to help not only the pedestrian, because we have seen lately because of the winter months or the snowy conditions, it's dark outside. So that was one of the reason. These are, as you asked me, that what are the challenges or
Yeah.
what are the main issues we are dealing with. These are some of the issues we are dealing. At the same time, our police is fully involved in all community-based programs, how to engage with their youth, how to engage with all cultural communities. So because region of Peel is one of the most diverse region we have in the country.
Yeah, community policing helps a lot, isn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
We work with the Safe City Mississauga or whether any other organization here, how we can engage better with the policing. So many new Canadians, instead of feeling any fear from the police,
They
we
shouldn't fear.
want them to be more working closely with the police. They don't need to worry about anything when they're approaching to any police officer, and how we can do it when we work closely with the community. That's why you see in the summer many of whether that's any community event, any barbecue events, or any social events where you see the police presence, and the police trying their best to be friendly and
part of the community. That's how it helps. Yeah, that helps a lot.
Yeah.
Any new proposals or anything in the offing now?
What we are looking right now is we are reassessing, as I mentioned earlier, that we have 4 divisions in region, 2 in Mississauga, 2 in Brampton, and 1 we have the airport division.
Okay.
We are reviewing all this divisional model right now. We are doing a complete study that how we can make it better, how the policing can be more efficient. The new officers, last week I was at a recruitment ceremony where we hired 38 new officers.
Okay.
So the moment they got their badges, the first 4 months is their training. So they will be working with an experienced officers for the period of first 4 months, but right after they will be by their own.
Yeah.
So we are fully committed. The board is fully committed to work with the chief, our new chief, and so the whole police force can get some benefit from his new vision and ideas. And we are there to provide them all the support, and of course media. For all the messages out to the public, whether those are ride programs near the holiday seasons or any close to the long weekend. We're always thankful to the media, and especially this media outlet working very, very closely with the Peel Police. And last year, this media outlet got an award as well.
I got the award.
Yes, so congratulations.
The Peel Police Award.
Yes. And we are fully thankful to the entire media, especially this media, for getting the message out and how we all can work together.
Right. How is the coordination with other police forces in Toronto and the OPP, Halton here?
They're very good because we are between Toronto, York, Halton and OPP. So as we already talked about, our chief comes from Halton. We have a long tradition working together with our partners. Sometime in the last year, the police cracked down one big car theft
Ring, yeah.
ring.
That is, I think, all Canada, I think, isn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So all major police forces were involved. Luxury cars were being stolen from people and shipped somewhere.
Yeah.
So all police forces work together, whether that's any gang-related activity or any crime or any other road rage or any hit and run.
Yeah.
All police forces are working very closely, and we are fully committed to do that in the near future as well.
Good. So, what's your message to the people, to the community? Don't be afraid of the police.
Exactly. This
That's
police belongs to you, and the police is fully committed for your well-being, not only now, in the future. So anytime if you have any issue or anything you want to discuss, you're more than welcome to join. You can call if there's any emergency situation. Please do not hesitate to call emergency number. If non-emergency, you can call our police force, Peel Police. And at the same time, I would encourage all the young people, if you have interest in law enforcement, join the Peel Police, as we always need young officers.
That's true.
And we have the budget for last year 55 officers, this year 35 officers, and we have over 3,000 civilian and uniformed police officers. So always some people, they get retired and there's always vacancies. So I'm looking forward to see near future and come again at your media outlet time to time and to discuss and talking to your wonderful audience.
And of course, don't call 911 if your pizza is not delivered on time.
Yes.
That usually happens, isn't it?
Exactly. That was one of the incidents we come across.
Anyway, thank you, Mr. Chatha.
Thank you so much.
Very nice meeting.
Yeah.
Nice talking.
Likewise.
I hope we'll meet again here. And,
yes, for sure.
if there's anything.
Looking forward.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much.
Well, we have heard from Mr. Ron Chatha, the new chair of the Peel Regional Police Force Board. And it was a pleasure talking to him. And he has given us an insight into how the board works and how the force works. Thanks a lot again.
Thank you so much.